Hi guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today I'm going to be doing another creepy video where I talk about other people's experiences with paranormal encounters. And today's main topic of the video is Ouija boards. And if you are familiar with Ouija boards, you know that you should not ever use it as a joke. I sometimes get asked by my friends, do you want to like mess with a Ouija board? I'm always like, do you want to die? You should never ever mess with a Ouija board, and if you ever use one, never forget to say goodbye, because the spirits that are unleashed through that can literally follow you everywhere and turn your life upside down. If you look even here on YouTube, like Ouija board story times, really the most fucked up things happen that like it's just really creepy. So today I'm going to be telling you guys Ouija board stories, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you do, don't forget to subscribe and give the video a big fat thumbs up. So let's begin. And if I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading the story. The first story is called I Can See You Through the Window. I was about 12 or 13, spending the night at a friend's house, goofing around with the Ouija board with him and his sister. We were getting all sorts of gibberish plus words spelled out, just kind of scaring ourselves for fun, not taking it very seriously. Then we got the message, I can see you through the window, and then I can see you through his eyes. There was just a small window in the basement room where we were, and just the backyard and woods past the driveway is visible through that window. We asked it more questions and it said, I'm under the car. So we somehow got up the nerve to go out with a flashlight and peer under the car, where we saw a huge black stray cat hissing. We ran inside freaking out, and at that exact moment the power failed and all the lights in the house went out. What the hell? First of all, if you know me personally, you guys would know that I am absolutely terrified of cats, and I don't really like cats. If I saw a cat hissing under like a car, I would legit lose my shit, like run for my life. I am terrified of cats. Like, and if the lights went out and I'm freaked out in my house, I don't know what I would do. We ran inside freaking out, and that exact moment the power failed and all the lights in the house went out. We just about actually shit ourselves. That's understandable. A few minutes later the power came back on and we sat up until dawn that night, scared, and never played with the board again. Well, I certainly hope you said goodbye. The next one is called Our Good Friend Roger. I was over at a friend's house back in the early 90s. I believe I was in 9th grade at the time. There were 4 of us, myself and 3 other girls. They kept asking me if I wanted to play with the Ouija board because they'd been talking to some dude on it named Roger. I was totally skeptical at first. If you are getting peer pressured to even mess with a Ouija board, it's okay to say no. It's better than to do it and then be fucked up for the rest of your life. I wasn't buying it. Totally thought they were moving it, the planchette, until I asked the board a question that only I knew. We had just got our grades from school back that day, and I asked it what I got in science. I remember this clearly, and I know my friends did not know the answer. The board spelled out my grade. Of course, that piqued my interest, so I started asking it more questions. I can't really recall the details of that night other than the board kept calling one of my friends a bitch. It hated her. It liked me. His name was Roger and he was stabbed to death. At one point, I was the only one controlling the board and asking questions. It worked. The freakiest thing that's ever happened to me. I'm not super spiritual, have never seen anything else paranormal related, and feel that I'm a very rational person. All I know is something supernatural was controlling the board without a doubt. I'm still baffled by like how all these people have the courage to like mess with Ouija boards and like not be like shitting themselves for like until the rest of their lives. If I even went near a Ouija board, I would lose my shit. The next one is called A Mysterious Death. My 2 best friends, M and L, for this story, and I played the Ouija board at M's house. It was going fine until M asked the spirit how it had died, and it said murder. She asked how it had been murdered, and it said, not I. It gave its name as something older than I can no longer remember and gave us a date in the 1800s. It started to get heavy. The whole room felt different, and the little thing on the board was ripped out of our hands and went across the room. We stopped playing immediately after that. M's mom died of cancer a week later. That's really sad. Very suddenly, nobody knew. Probably a coincidence, but Elle's mom was hospitalized for a serious drinking problem not long after that, and then mine had an emergency hysterectomy the same week. I don't know what that is. I have since then experienced things that I don't think I would have without this experience. Voices, a dark shadow, footsteps. I wonder if I'm haunted sometimes still, and it's been 9 years. I'll be praying for your soul at night. I just don't get why. I'm not saying that these people are like crazy or something like that. It's just me. I would never. I probably said this a million times already in this video. I'm never in my life going near a Ouija board. Okay, let's get into the next case, which is our last. And this one is called the case of the vanishing board. We were hanging out in a friend's dorm room and busted out the Ouija board. There were a few of us who had used them before and a few who hadn't that were quite skeptical. It was about 11 p.m. and the communication with the board was going quite well. Gary, one of the skeptics, kept calling bullshit to the whole thing. You should never do that. Never. We convinced him to sit on the floor with us and give it a shot. His first question, is this for real or just a bunch of bullshit? The planchette zipped to no. Fine, he says, still not believing it. Prove it. No sooner had he finished that statement when the lights in the room flickered and the building's fire alarm went off. Man, I would get like my whole thing and just leave the building, not even go back in there until like a week later. This freaked us all out and we left the room to follow the fire alarm procedures. After about 20 minutes, campus safety said it was a false alarm and let us all back into the dorms. I would still not go back in there. I would legit sleep outside, like, no. When we arrived back up to our friend's room, the Ouija board was gone. No one took it with us and the room was left locked. That's why you should never mess with a freaking Ouija board. Guys, please, if you ever are peer pressured into any type of Ouija board experience, it's up to you. My personal opinion for you would be no, because I mean, that shit is dangerous and it's better to be safe than sorry. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and comment down any video suggestions that you guys would like me to do. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.